Hello, my friends. Dorothy here. Let's get started. We are going to talk about the astrology for the week of September 29 through October 5th. I hope you are doing well, and I hope that you've done okay with the eclipses. Eclipse, lunar eclipse, September 7, that we went through that was in Pisces, and then we had some very tumultuous time in the 2 weeks between the eclipses. I mean, tumultuous, just a lot of emotions, like big stuff happening. That's that Jupiter in Cancer. And then a few back on September 21st, we had the new moon solar eclipse in Virgo, and that was very important to pay attention to because 29th degree is about endings and really honing in on what you wanted to let go of. And while the new moon represents a fresh new start and an opportunity to initiate and begin something new, and we all had that opportunity with all of those energies going on. So the first chart that we want to look at today is this one right here. So let me go grab that. Here we are, is the first quarter moon because it's the moon's in the sign of Capricorn. Okay. So a week, which means a week ago from the date on the screen was when we had the new moon solar eclipse. So it's been 1 week since we hopefully set some goals, released some things while we were simultaneously figuring out what the goals were that we wanted to set. And the good thing about this first quarter moon, which is again just a week after the new moon solar eclipse, that moon in Capricorn is emphasizing responsibility and structure and feeling very grounded and feeling solid and trying to solidify how we're feeling because that Jupiter in Cancer is highly active these days. And we're just feeling a lot of different things and it's stirring stuff up. That's in 2 days, exactly in 2 days, the Mercury Jupiter connection. But right now, with this first quarter moon in Capricorn on September 29, it's just before 8 p.m. Eastern. And so this tells me that, first off, all through the day, from 5:55 a.m. through the whole day, through all of the 30th as well, everything I'm about to say is what's valid, okay? That moon in Capricorn, I just mentioned it, is about responsibility and structure and how what we're building and setting a new routine and new patterns and new daily habits. And that was in those new daily habits and routines was initiated with the new moon solar eclipse in Virgo on September 21. And a week later, with this first quarter moon in the sign of Capricorn and having the moon in Capricorn all day, almost all day on the 29th, all day on the 30th, and half of the day on October 1st, feeling very strong, feeling very grounded. This is where we can feel strength, where we can feel like I can make some choices to do something that helps me to feel present, to feel grounded, to know that I'm taking a step in one direction that's important for you. Okay. So you'll have to just look at this day as we're coming up to it. It's a Monday, so you might even be contemplating this on Sunday night, the 28th, and just thinking it's like, what's tomorrow's schedule like? What can I do in tomorrow's work routine or to plan ahead for whatever your Monday is supposed to have in it? And you can take this Capricorn moon all day Monday, the 29th, all day Tuesday, the 30th, and really plan and organize and get some accountability. And because it can create, there can be a little pressure with the square, a little pressure to step up to do what you need to do. The square is, here's the sun, and 90 degrees away is the moon. Same number, 7 degrees and 5 minutes. So that's what you need to do. And that's what Monday looks like, September 29. And additionally, it will be like that on Tuesday, September 30th. And on Tuesday, September 30th, the moon, I don't have a chart for that, but I'll just show you. The moon will be trine Jupiter exactly, and that's at 8:20. And then just before midnight is when the moon will be a bigger number, and it will then square Mercury. And so the energy of those two for the 30th, and that spans over 15 hours on the day, but the whole day of the 30th, honestly, just figuring out what it is that you're wanting to do, what it is that you value, what are those details about? How do I make new cycles or new routines, right? The moon will trine the south node as well. What is that? What are the new habits and patterns that I need to initiate now? Because even though the world can be imploding and we can all see how things are very difficult in a lot of ways, the things that you can do to make a difference for the things that matter to you. You know, we all have different understandings and beliefs of things, but whatever's important for you, take those right steps for you. Okay. That's what this is about. That's the way we can manage all the big things that are going on in the world. We can manage it into our own lives. So that's September 29, September 30. Here is a little more about October 1st because the moon enters Aquarius not until almost 4 o'clock on the in the afternoon on Wednesday the 1st Eastern time, guys. Remember, and that is with the moon in Aquarius, it's coming to make a conjunction to Pluto. That happens at 6:30 p.m. So we've got that energy happening while we simultaneously. I'll tell you what it means just a second while it's simultaneously Mercury and Jupiter are square. Mercury in Libra, of course, is always looking for the diplomatic way to communicate something. That Jupiter in Cancer is stirring up so many intense emotions. We can see it. Just watch TV. I don't watch TV. I haven't had regular TV for a very long time. I only stream a couple channels, and that's it. I just don't care about TV anymore because it's too hyperbolic and it's too much information. It overwhelms me. So I don't know how you are with that, but that's the Jupiter in Cancer. We have to figure out our own ways to manage all of the emotion that's happening these days. And so we have Mercury in Libra, again, looking for the diplomacy, the balance, and the harmony and communication in regards to how we are feeling and what's going on. And we have Mercury, as you can see, Mercury is opposite Chiron almost. That comes up in the week after this one, but it's still in play. And Jupiter squaring Chiron. So Chiron's in play here. And the thing about all of that is like we have some wounds that are coming to the surface that we need to heal. There are wounds coming to the surface that we need to heal and to process. And we really need to think about what it is that we can do. It doesn't have to involve a lot of people. That Chiron and Aries these last year and a half has been about our own personal individual steps that we need to take for ourselves. And simultaneously, as this Mercury and Jupiter are exact. And again, this is like I'm looking for balance, but I could be hyperbolic about it and overwhelmed about it because that Jupiter in Cancer can be overwhelming. But it can also be, on a positive note, a nice opportunity for brainstorming or figuring something out that helps you and your family feel safe and secure. The moon in Aquarius conjunct Pluto in Aquarius while Mercury and Jupiter are having their way with each other. And these guys are trine Uranus, and that comes through at yeah, just about the same time, just a few minutes apart. That gives us a lot of insight. So there's a big opportunity here. Everything I've already said, but here's a little more insight. Mercury is about information and communication. Those two, they're in Aquarius, and Aquarius is brilliant ideas. The ruler of Aquarius is actually Uranus, and it's in the sign of Gemini. And so it's like big ideas. Well, you know what? The ruler of Gemini is Mercury, and Mercury is there with Jupiter in Cancer, and the ruler of Cancer is the moon. So while they're not all interacting with each other, because these guys over here interacting with themselves, and these guys over here interacting with them, but they are still connected through rulership. So I know I went deep in the astrology. That's knowing who is in charge of what sign, what planet rules what sign. So while again, those two groups of transits are happening in their own worlds, they are still connected. They're still connected because, again, Jupiter is the moon. The moon rules Jupiter, and down here, Gemini, and Mercury rules Gemini, and on we go. So the rulers all come around, and it plays a big game. It's a deeper lesson in astrology, but it just what it does is it just hammers it home even more. Be open for new ideas, new ways to process, taking care of yourself, moments of clarity, moments of brilliant understandings, and aha moments. And here the sun is all by itself. Oops, I don't have my marker on. The sun is all by itself. You can tell by there is no aspects with the sun on this day. So the sun right here on this day is hanging out all by itself in the sign of Libra, looking for some harmony, some balance, and some diplomacy. That'd be nice if that shows up. The week we're currently in, I'm recording this on the 23rd, is intense still because just so many different things that are going on. What's this chart about? Let's see. October 2nd. Oh yeah, just more moon in Aquarius stuff. So what did I want to look at for October 2nd? It's not in my notes because I don't have it. On October 2nd, the moon will square Mars in Scorpio, but that's before sunrise. So you'll just may wake up with some intense dreams or just real deep emotional content through your dream time. But then the moon is making a trine aspect to the sun, so it's not square anymore. It's actually trine. Here it is. That's an air trine, so there's just more information coming at us, right? Brilliant ideas, more information. Let's go on to what's next. Here's October 3rd. Mercury is opposite Chiron. So I did talk about that. I didn't see it here, but here it is. Yes, it is. And this is at 2 in the afternoon. So Mercury and Libra opposite that Chiron and Aries. I did cover it already, but the energy of that just in and of itself is about, healing, those healing themes around communication, around I want a peaceful dialogue. I need to heal these wounds that are inside of me. I need to take the steps to do it. And I most likely will do it independently. I don't necessarily do it with others around. You don't have to have a conversation with others about what this wound is. You can if you want, but you don't have to. And that Mercury opposite Chiron too, that, while we can have conversations, because that Jupiter is not that far away. It's Mercury's at 25 now, and Jupiter is still in play. So this is just a little more. This is just when it's exact on the 23rd, Friday the 23rd. Old injuries can come to the surface, and it's Jupiter in Cancer there. That just means it's related to our family. Freaking family sometimes. I mean, we're all somebody's family member, but sometimes it's just hard, where we just can't get our shit together and things just get stirred up and it can be just a toughie. And, so do your best to be easy on yourself when it comes to this, just be really nice and diplomatic and be nice to yourself is really what it comes down to. So, yeah. Here is the 4th, so Saturday the 4th. This is Mercury quincunx Saturn. That's a tough one. The quincunxes mean we're just really making a ton of adjustments and it's really uncomfortable. So at 6:42 p.m. on Saturday, October 4th, the moon and the sun are in a quincunx. That means there's a gibbous stage going on here. We're in the gibbous stage. We're not quite at a full moon yet. And so being in the gibbous stage, that just means there's adjustments that we're making. That moon in Pisces is just a little dreamy, a little spiritual, a little flowy, but the sun in Libra is just everything but that. It's just that's about information, communication, diplomacy. Let's talk it out. So we have a little bit of adjustment on Saturday night. Saturday night looks like there's some adjustments happening. The Mercury, again, communication hitting a hard quincunx over there. So more Libra Pisces. So it's pretty much what I just said. Mercury looking for diplomacy, looking for communication that's balanced. Saturn in Pisces says, I don't have the boundaries up that I need to. I'm trying to figure out how to put them back up. So some of us have already figured out how to put our boundaries back up. Because when Saturn entered Aries, we forgot. We forgot. We were just gung ho. But when it retrograded back into Pisces, which I think was September 1st, it goes September 1st through February 14th, if I'm not mistaken. And the energy of that is just like figuring out what those boundaries are. And we need to do that more than we don't. So make sure that you make the adjustments, figure out where the diplomacy has to come fit in. And if you can't do it, don't do it. I'm not saying you have to force yourself to do something you don't want to. Never, never. So Mercury, quincunx Saturn creates a fair amount of um, stress because we're facing boundaries and responsibilities, and there's just a misalignment between these two. So it can feel kind of weighty. It can feel like we're blocked. It can feel like we're not getting our point across. And if you're feeling frustrated like that, don't push it. Just let it go and just say F it and just go have a glass of wine. The moon's in Pisces, so we want to do that anyways. All right. The last week, the last day of this week in this forecast is Sunday, the 5th. No planetary aspects, but that Mercury Saturn happens so late at night. Well, at least for us on the East Coast, it can feel uncomfortable. And so, with the moon in the sign of Pisces throughout the day on Sunday, just allow the day to flow. It could be a rainy day, Moon in Pisces sometimes shows us that it's a rainy day. Could be that you're spending some time just doing something you've always hoped and dreamed to do. Maybe you're going to just take a drive up into the mountains and look at the colorful leaves. They're not so colorful this year. We're in a drought here in New Hampshire, so there's a lot of brown leaves and a little bit of orange. So if you it's not going to be fantastic. Just if anybody's thinking of coming up. I'm in the mountain. I'm only an hour, I'm only a half hour away from the mountains, so I see them all the time. It's kind of not, it's not what you would hope and dream for if you're spending extra time coming up. However, back to the moon in Pisces, but that's what I'm talking about, the moon in Pisces. It's opposite Venus, so we're looking for another way to define what it is that we love and value. Makes the trine to Jupiter during the day. There's that trine in play right there, and that's like at 1 in the afternoon, and then and that helps us to just tap into something relaxing. And then when the moon makes its conjunction to Saturn at 8:30 on Sunday night, it's like let's just chill. So here's a game plan with these aspects going on Sunday. Sunday, if you're an average or a typical person that, Sunday night's the day before the week starts. So Monday, just chill out, plan ahead. You're getting this ahead of time. Chill out for Sunday. Just relax, just enjoy yourself, have some fun. And just by the time we get to 8:30 at night on Sunday or 5:30 if you're in the Pacific time zone, it just means that, we're ready for the responsibilities and we're just going to go make our lunches for the week and pack our bags and just make sure our lesson plans are together. Well, whatever. Well, whatever your life is like, you're going to do all of those things. And that's what Sunday night is all about. And that's a really important, that's good. It's not a bad thing. It's nice. It's important. The next day, it looks like I need to do the full moon forecast this week too, because the next day on October 6th, Monday, October 6th, is the full moon in the sign of Aries. And I'll talk about that in the next forecast. And that's it for now. Share what you have experienced with the full moons if you would like. I would love to hear it, or the solstice. No, no, it wasn't solstice, or the equinoxes. And yeah, just let me know. I'd love to hear it below. And thank you guys once again for your support. And namaste.